Thank you. Next, Mr. Scott Chapman, a Titus Man Incorporation, Youth Leadership and Empowerment.
Hey guys, thank you. Rita, thank you for inviting us out. We appreciate everybody that's out here today. Thanks for coming out, Tashiane, Mr. Ralph, Paul, Sergio, and you guys. My name is Scott Chapman. I'm with the Titus Man Organization. We basically assist with the growth and development of youth males. We all have pockets in different areas. And again, it takes all of us to make it work. Love the story about Sergio as well. Speaking of numbers, everybody's throwing out numbers. To add to those, in reference to youth males, I know the gentleman spoke on 56% of those kids not graduating from high school. And the reason for that, I think, what we got to do is find a solution. I think one of the main reasons is 40% of those individuals are basically coming out of single-parent homes. And we know that 85% of those are fatherless homes. And so what we have to do as the men of this world is develop ourselves, get our manhood back, and structure that so that the family will be able to follow. God made us first. He created us in His own likeness, His own will, and it's important. With us being off track, the rest of the family is going to be off track. So it's important for us to keep that family unity together. And I'm just going to speak briefly on a couple of things, youth development and empowerment to that. I think one of the solutions, again, with starting with that, is the renewing of our mind. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And with that becomes a structure and guidance from God, not only from God, but from our will and desire to do something great. And with that, God will give us direction to do that. What makes a leader in reference to youth empowerment or leadership, I think it's some key factors. One of the things, we have to be proactive and not reactive. Is one of the things that I think goes into play with that. The other thing is being flexible and adaptive. We have to be flexible. We have to be able to adapt to certain situations, patterns and things that may come into our lives to make that adjustment to carry forward to do what we need to do. The other one is also a good communicator. We have to be able to communicate. Going back to Sergio with his life structure, he didn't have anyone that he could communicate with. Once he found that communication and that pipeline to communicate with someone directly, to give him the direction that he needed to take, that's what really changed him. Just having that communication and someone being willing to talk with him. Respect plays a big part in that as well. He found that Mr. Hall was a man that stuck to his word. He was respectful to him, and he got that back from him. And so those are some of the things that we have to do. We work with mostly youth males as well, from the ages of 8 to 18, and we know early childhood intervention is the main key, especially to the structure of youth males. And so we take that pattern, we kind of lead those guys, and we go through the process with them from age 8 up to 18, going through elementary school, middle school, and high school, and even into the college stage. We kind of stay with them on that pattern. The other thing to leadership is inactive. You know, being involved, being interactive with the kids as well, and enthusiastic. You know, a lot of times we find our enthusiasm not as powerful as it should be, and I think that plays the main role into young men. It's just like fashion. I think when you got the hottest, the latest fashion on, each and every one of the individuals want a pair of the shoes or the sneakers that may be out that are just coming out on a new trend. And it's important for us as young leaders to develop them, those young leaders, so that they'll be reflections of what we have entered into them in reference to being able to reflect and draw in that younger generation, because it's up to them. Any organization, any development, anything have been structured came basically from the youth. That time with most of the things that come about with voter registration. It's important for younger younger generation to see each other being involved in the voting process. And I thank Rita for bringing out and doing what she does with her Community Advocates in Action Network, which again gives those kids a direction or a pattern to take in reference to voting and registration and being part of the political process. I'm not going to be much longer. I'm going to leave you with this quote in reference to Dr. King, basically stating that everybody can be great. We know leadership comes from, we're not born as leaders, but we're actually developed and made as leaders. And so in reference to that, he states that everybody can be great because anybody can serve. And most of the time, leadership comes from servanthood. And you have to start somewhere as a leader to begin to be hands-on, more active and involved in the community, and not so much of a dictator to the situation. And so I'm going to leave you with that. And Rita, again, I thank you for allowing us to be a part of the process. And I know we're limited on time, so I'm going to keep it moving. Thank you, guys. Scott Chapman with the Titus Man organization. Actually, I started out back in 1997 working with the churches, community churches, got involved with the youth program ministry, youth ministry there, and took over the athletic program based on the needs of the community. Find myself working with the youth males between ages 15 to 18. And got involved that way. Started my own little business at one time with the transportation organization. Basically, we ran nationally 48 states as a transportation and freight carrying company. Got away from the mentoring part of the program right around in '07. And God just put something in my spirit to get back to what my passion is, and that's working with youth males. Got back involved. God came up, gave me the idea with the name of a Titus man. Titus is a young prophet that was in the Bible, in the book of Titus, that led by example on a positive notion. And that's where the name actually did develop from. As we decided to do the organization, I named it a Titus Man. And basically, again, the name is basically based off of the young men being an example in a positive manner, which are doing the right things. The different programs that we have a co-op program for the older kids, which are from 15 to 18, where we actually work with local businesses. And we team up with them as partners, allowing those young men to step into the fields of their choice, whether it's orthodontics, attorney, grocery store links, or any type of field that they were looking to get into, construction, any trade type thing, barbering. And so we'll give them the opportunity to go into as an internship where they actually are employed from the internship into employment, and it transitions into employment for them, depending on the field that they choose to be a part of. We also do early childhood intervention. There's also some counseling that we do as well. So those are just a couple of the things we do. But the main thing, again, is to give them the desires or the direction that they're looking to go into and assist them along the process. And again, it's from the ages of 8 to 18 that we work with. And again, we stay with them through that whole trend of the process, from elementary school, middle school, to high school, and even going into college with the opportunities. At the moment, normally we house 25 to 50 kids as members on a regular basis. I think over the years, we started back in 2010 when the actual organization got legalized from a standpoint of becoming a nonprofit back in 2010, October 2010. And since that time, I think we've touched about 300 kids just through the program. A lot of them still come back to the program with the assistance to help out, just to show the other ones that they can do the same thing that they've done, which is going on to college, started great careers and families throughout the community. Please reach us on our website through www.atitusman.org. The phone number is 678-587-5294. Again, that's 678-587-5294. And then also through social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, we're all there. And again, the program is set up through the schools. So we work with the counselors in the school. They give us the individuals that they think they're having issues with and problems with, and that's how they become a part of the program. But if there's anyone in the community that knows someone that may be in need of some assistance, don't hesitate to contact us. We'll be more than happy to assist you in any way we possibly can.